Yeah. Welcome to episode 3 of Jordan and Amelia Unleashed.
I like that.
Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know if most of it you were calling, so I was like, which way we're at?
That's all right. We go you first. We could do it alphabetical so that neither of us feel like we've been shunned to the bottom to second.
Don't be right, because Hannah gets so protected about everyone has to say Hannah and Jordan. If you say really Hannah, everyone's like, she gets a bit like that. Oh.
That's so mean. So we'll let you have this one then.
Yeah. Oh no, you don't. It sounds better for Jordan, you know.
Do you think?
Yeah. I think so.
That's what you've been told.
Happy wife, happy life.
It's been beat into her.
And not just baby wife. Thank you.
Welcome, Cara.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
No worries.
Who are you? Just how about it?
Just local dog walker and pet sitter that's currently training to be a dog trainer.
Not just.
Yeah.
I am.
I am, yeah. But yeah, really enjoying it.
Good. How long have you been in the industry working with?
About 2-3 years now, I think it is. I've lost track, to be honest. It just flies by. So anyone a reminder comes up, I'm like, oh yeah, I started then. But yeah, 2-3 years now.
Nice. So what did you do before?
I'm a qualified pharmacy dispenser and healthcare assistant on the counter.
Really?
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Went to college and studied horse management and animal management, but then went into pharmacy. Yeah. That's it. Do you still get the surgery? No, I used to work at Hortons in Cirencester. Yeah, the fancy one, yeah. The perfumes are good. I used to see them off camera. The testers.
Okay.
No, to be fair, I did have a few gifts that were like Girl Aaron and stuff like that. It was really nice.
That's really good.
It was Bobby working there. So why did you go from that to starting your own business? And I actually got signed off sick, believe it or not. I struggled quite badly with working there because unfortunately one of the staff members was quite passive, not even passive aggressive, just rude, basically. And she made quite a few comments that ended up leading to me being signed off. I tried working at a nursery for a little bit. That was even worse, to be honest. They were very cliquey, or we didn't fit, you know? I actually ended up, to be honest, walking out of there and just being signed off for months. It's really hard to come back and stuff like that. Yeah. Not to take it personally and to think, well, it's halfway brain, isn't it? To go in, well, you know that's not right. Yeah. The femininity realising and getting it. Yeah, honestly, I had no choice really. My mental health was quite bad, so. And then a family friend reached out to me. She was dog walking up the other end of the country. Her partner's a dog handler. Been in my friends with my family for as long as I can remember. Yeah. And she was down one day with her dog, and we just got chatting because I just got Bandit. So he must have been about 6 months when I started it, to be honest, at most. He was baby. Didn't like beefing him either. So no, it's another reason.
Oh, that's on me at home.
Yeah, it was nice to be with him, and he was the face of he was literally all over my page when I first started. He was the only person I walked to, you know what I mean? And then my partner's mum was like, take my two, get yourself some photos, and it just built from there. And then Hattie appeared and Bobby, and yeah, the rest followed.
It's like a snowball.
Yeah, you're still well known in Manchester now. Yeah. How's your name? That's quite nice, because I've always been known as like Kiwi's sister or Callum's girlfriend, so it's nice to be known as me. What's that? This is Cara, you know, what's going on?
And there's so many dogs now, and obviously, I guess people used to maybe need a dog walker more, do you think? Or do you feel like there's more?
I think at the moment, there is a lot of dog walkers popping up all over the place.
Yeah.
And I always say, let them after summer, see if they last the winter. Because that's where the hard part does come in. Obviously, when summer you've got the ticks, you've got heat stroke, so you're more sitting in the houses and stuff. But when you're out in the snow, rain and all that, that's when you find out who's going to stick.
Yeah.
I always say. I've been through like a couple of winters now, and it does get tough when you're out in the rain. And making sure you've got the right equipment before the rain.
Yeah.
The amount of times my walking boots have broke halfway through a walk, sort of thing, like the soles are sort of gone and water's been in my shoe, or I've worn a coat that's not long enough. And then they'll roll down the back of you, sort of thing.
The dog's getting so...
Yeah, I remember Patty one day, she took nearly 2 hours to bath after a walk. Yeah. I took her back early to wash her and everything. 2 hours later, I'm still pouring mud out of her fur.
Oh no.
Fluffy little thing she was.
I think Jordan can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow just get used to it.
So just bring them upstairs. You might just, sort them up.
Yeah, literally. Put her in a sink, little bowl of water around it, little cup.
It must have taken forever. She had full coat as well. You must have been there for...
You've seen her, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my. And then towel drying her afterwards.
Yeah, you learn, don't you?
You do learn. You really do. So I've now made in the contract, I'll bring dogs back a little bit early if it's really bad weather to give them a clean down.
Yeah.
And you pay me the extra 2 hours.
Yeah. No, other than that one, luckily they've never taken that long. I think it was just a really bad snow, ice, mud day.
Jeez. And I guess the type of coat as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. That's why we have the nice short coats.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, when Moxie gets wet, it's scary. She just, street down, she just loses half of her.
So who are your dogs?
I've got Bandit the Border Collie and Moxie Border Collie Cross German Shepherd.
Wow.
Yeah, they are a lot. They are a lot.
Energy.
A lot of energy. I mean, I was woken up this morning to Moxie standing on my head.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Just saying I love you and stand on your head.
I mean, I wake up, Bandit stood over you, Moxie's got her head there, and you're like, good morning. Every morning.
Border collies cuddle like that, though, don't they? They bring their head right in. They want to flip over.
Last night, Moxie had her head over my neck sort of thing, and she's quite a heavy dog, so I actually had to push her slightly so I could breathe. She was actually crushing my windpipe, and I was just like, Mox, I love you, but I choose life.
And are they rescues or from puppies?
I've had them from puppies, but Bandit's a failed sheepdog. He's terrified of sheep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, terrified of sheepdog. Hair in my mouth, typical. And Moxie, she wasn't a rescue technically, but I do class her a little bit. She was in a crate with all her litter mates, and food would just be chucked in and it'd be a fight to food.
Oh my God.
So she was quite underweight when I got her. And actually, they didn't tell me when I picked her up that they'd been at work all day and none of the puppies had been fed or had water. So when I got home, she was so thirsty.
Oh my God.
There was only when I sort of got home and she had a bowl of water, I was like, I didn't see a bowl of water in the crate. And this owner I know had been at work because we had been waiting an extra 2 hours for her to come home. I was like, it was only then I clocked that what had actually happened. I was like, oh my God, this poor baby. Oh, so, yeah. No, unless it's, hear me out. If it's high value, yes, but I do feed them separately because Bandit can be a bit reactive with his food because he was just chucked to a stable. He didn't actually go into our house until I got him.
I was just I had no idea.
He'd had no idea what eating out of a bowl was around, Bless him.
So is that because they came from working?
He is a fully working, his mum and dad work sort of thing. I actually met Mum, she was a lovely dog. I got his whole family tree somewhere at home.
Cute.
Give me the paperwork for him, yeah, so I got him like that. And then Moxie was an accidental later, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you train a border collie into sheep, it can cost you 30 grand, can't it? To send them off and get them trained. So if his parents were...
Yeah.
That's an expense.
It really is, because we've got them on the farm in Ireland as well, so we have trained collies and stuff like that, and they're not cheap.
No.
It was amazingly just how much they can be. It'd be 80 odd grand, can't they? If you've had he trained,
Yeah.
go get him.
I guess it's like buying a piece of equipment.
Yeah, that's basically is.
Yeah.
A tractor.
Yeah. It is not in that, because obviously you got to think not only are the sheep, sometimes the cows as well. It depends on what you've got on the farm.
Yeah, scare predators away and hope to give it a check.
And stay outside.
Yeah.
They're not.
I mean,
to
on the farm, they're not allowed in the house. And as much as I don't like that, it's not my house,
They don't know any different.
No, exactly.
And they enjoy their life and enjoy their job. And it's no different. It's like having a cow or a pig outside.
I always say, if you don't give a collie a job, it will find a job. That is so true. So it is protecting the house, and on a walk, he won't let anyone near me if we don't know them. Yeah. So if you say his nickname or his name, or I speak to you first, then he's like, okay, we must know this person. If you just walk past me on the street, he's like, who are you? What are you doing here? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh my God.
you've got too close. You've got too close. And it's worse at night, I'd say, because he's like even more in protective. Like, it's dark. What could happen? I don't know. He just goes in protective mode. It's really weird. Whereas Moxie never has the brain cell. It's always Bandit. So she's walking along like really... Do you know what I mean? She hasn't got a care in the world.
I'll see her.
Honestly, I needed to be Moxie.
That's a good saying, though. Because I think people find they probably choose breeds a lot based on the way they look.
Yeah.
Not really thinking about
The characteristics.
characteristics or what that dog has previously been bred for. And I do see a lot of collies come in that are just so anxious, I would say.
Yeah.
Or their owners will say, oh yeah, it's really scared of cars, or it tries to herd cars, or...
It's their instinct.
Yeah.
Like, control movement. Do you know what I mean? So if you got a collie, you kind of have to expect it.
Yeah.
They do it with dogs, children, you can name it, anything. They'll try and hurt it. Like, I don't get to go anywhere in my house alone. Anywhere.
Being followed all the time.
I almost had Moxie in the bath the other day.
Really?
Yeah. I don't get to go anywhere.
So why did you get a border collie?
We've always had border collies in the family. My first one's actually tattooed there. He was a collie cross with a greyhound, believe it or not. We didn't find that out until much later. But
Quicker than normal.
do you know what? He was the chillest dog ever. I don't think like he was so well behaved. Didn't like walking on lead, but as soon as she took him off, by your side.
Really?
Completely. The only breed of dog he just didn't like was a Yorkie. That's the only thing he had to watch him around.
Yeah.
Anything else, cars, he could be off the lead by the road, anything. So, I think it does depend on training as well and meeting that instinct, if that makes sense. So like a herding bull and stuff like that. Giving them that
Outlet.
Yeah, exactly. So with Bandit, he does like to try and herd cars, which we've been working on. Moxie's copying, which is fun. Yeah. But we take him to like enclosed fields and give him a herding ball just to run around and just play with. And
What's a herding bull?
so it's a giant ball that dogs, it's like a giant beach ball in a way, but it's stronger, and dogs use it to herd. They stalk it, things like that.
Does it move?
If they hit it, yeah. So you can kick it about sort of thing, get them to start chasing it a little bit and herding it. And a lot of people actually use those to start training dogs before they use sheep. So with Bandit, he knows the word come by means like come behind me sort of thing, which a lot of dogs do. But obviously in herding instincts, they say come by, which means go round.
Yeah.
And things like that. So he knows that to a degree. But yeah, a lot of people do start with a herding bull, things like that.
And that can just help them to kind of release that energy as well.
Exactly. It's
just-
like enrichment as well.
Yeah. And you're not putting a dog in a box then.
Yeah.
Kind of allowing it some...
Exactly. You're
some
allowing it to
space.
run, you're allowing it to think. And obviously if you're using it to train the dog to actually herd, goes to training and like brain thinking as well. So yeah, it's a good outlet for it.
And you grew up on a farm?
I didn't, my mum did. But yeah, we were raised kind of like that sort of thing, So like, yeah, pigs and stuff like, yeah, there was some stories. I don't really like going over to the farm for that reason.
Where is the farm?
It's in Ireland, Kilkenny. Yeah, so I don't go over very often.
No.
No, it's not my cup of tea. I'm like, leave the animals alone.
Oh, really? Is it
Yeah.
like... So it's a working farm, I guess, and they...
And at the moment, I don't know if you know anything about Ireland, they've got, unfortunately, a call out for badgers. They're taking over for it at the moment, so a lot of farms have been shut down, which obviously means can't produce anything.
Yeah.
And it's not a great place to be at the moment anyway.
Is a lot of TV breaking out?
I think there is that as well. From what I've heard of my mum, there's been a few things going on over there at the moment, which isn't good.
Is she still there?
She's not. She's actually in Bristol, but our cousins and stuff are, so they run it. It's a family farm.
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah, it is, but fingers crossed they'll be back up and running once the government sort of gives the all clear.
Yeah. And are they dairy or meat?
Dairy mainly, I think,
Yeah.
from what I remember, and then a little bit of meat. And then they got the sheep as well and stuff like that, so lamb season, all that sort of stuff. That's a good time to be there when the lambs are about.
Yeah, it's cute.
It is very cute.
It's just not near the end.
No. Not new yet. I'm like, I'm going home now.
Yeah, and time for me to leave.
No, exactly. I mean, I'm not a vegetarian at all, but like, I just try to not see it too much.
Yeah, I think it's different seeing it, isn't it? A lot.
Yeah.
But we should see it because, you know,
Definitely. I mean,
if
obviously,
we're going to be happy to eat.
yeah,
Well,
you kind of have to know what it goes through. Yeah. Yeah, that is one of the reasons I'm not a fan going over.
it's tough.
It is tough. It is very tough.
Do you think you'd have like a small holding in the future?
I would love to. I've always said to my partner, I want to get some land, have a couple of little Highland cows, chickens. We've got chickens in my mum's place at the moment, so.
Have you?
Yeah.
Just
Not,
for
I don't approve of the names, but yeah, for the eggs and stuff like that.
So you get room names.
Yeah.
I've got to tell us now.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? So our original 3 were Agent K, Agent F, and Agent C. Together, KFC. The current ones are Peri Peri, Miss Middies, Chicken Nugget, Goujon, Roast, Mac, and Donald. I think that's it at the moment.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that is the name of the chickens.
We need more chicken name ideas. Like, what other chicken food brands are there?
They'll come out of Goujon. Oh, obviously they got Goujon and stuff. And I'm just scared of what they'll come out in the future with. I am. I'm scared.
Hannah used to have the best names for chickens. Megan only ever owned the 3 of them. They had David Peckham, Leonce, Cluck Norris, and there was something else, and I just thought it was outstanding. That's brilliant. Like, such good names.
She'd say.
That's so funny. That is brilliant. You need chickens just for that now.
I'm trying.
They would take over.
They would.
They do.
And they shit everywhere.
And they bring rats.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. I love rats, but I don't want to know my body.
Oh, well, rats are something different. They are something different.
I look every day. So, yeah.
Even the wild cat we've got won't touch them.
Really?
Yeah, my mum rescued this cat. She won't let anyone near we've called her Heineken, or Heinzer, I think it was actually. And she sleeps in the shed. She won't come in the house. You're not allowed to touch her. She won't touch the chickens. She won't, we just feed her. That's all she wants.
Yeah.
And it's freedom of food. That's what she, yeah. And she just comes and goes, but she won't touch the rats. She's like, that's not my job.
No. They can be quite big. I had a little dachshund in yesterday and it had a scratch on its nose. And the lady was like, oh, excuse the scratch. She had a fight with a rat and the rat lost. And I was like, oh, did she eat the rat? And she was like, yeah, of course. I was like, oh my God. And then she went on to say, her and her mum, the dachshund,
Yeah.
her and her mum, live on a farm and they chase all the rats. And one day she came to see them tearing a rat apart between them. Like literally one on either end. Yeah, like tug of war. She was like, it was disgusting. And they ate it.
You used to imagine all the rats looking in the distance going, oh,
Touch it. Dachshunds are crazy.
the little divas they are. They're like death bro thing. If you hold something like shake it, that.
Oh, like a crocodile sort of, like.
Yeah.
Because they're probably about half the size of them, a rat.
It's also the Jewish.
Yeah. It was a miniature dachshund. Yeah.
And a brave accent.
It was so slim. But that's what they're bred for.
Yeah.
It's quite nice, isn't it? Thinking about what dogs are bred for and reusing them for those purposes.
Yeah.
Is ace.
It's amazing some of the things they're bred for,
Yeah. Isn't what they just do. Like you're saying that collies will find a job, but then can we also say that collies will always be 2 steps ahead of you. So they're not just reading your facial expressions, they're reading your body language, they're watching your routine, they know what you're going to do next. Yeah. And I guess it's all about keeping on their toes, isn't it? Trying to be unpredictable and imagine they're really creatures of routine.
They really are. They're also, they say, easiest to train, hardest to keep trained.
Yeah.
Because they just get bored.
What else are we learning?
What training lenses do you find works best?
So my 2, definitely positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
They do anything for food. Anything. I might be why Moxie's associates. It's training. It's working. No, she is good, to be fair. But no, they do anything for food. Absolutely. And that's throughout the house. That's where we're still building stuff up since he got attacked. So yeah, since he had that altercation, he's been a bit more anxious outside. So we're working on it bit by bit, gradually getting earlier. So we've got more, like, we go at midnight a lot of the time just so he can enjoy his walk. And then if Callum comes with me, I've got an extra support sort of thing. We go a bit earlier, might see 1 or 2 people just to do a bit of training and use them in a way.
Is that Bandit was attacked?
Yeah, we had an altercation back in October, unfortunately. He was absolutely fine, but he was also had an altercation with his puppy. So I think he's just kind of regressed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're just working on it again. If he knows the dog, he's absolutely fine. He absolutely loves this one spaniel that's been his friend since he had his vaccinations, to be honest. And that's a little Trixie, a little spaniel. They've been like that since. And that is nice to see that he's still okay with that dog, you know?
I think as well they remember like their puppy playmates. I think it's really important to get those, like, that socialization in really early, because they will remember. Like Roby will play with Riley because she knows him.
Yeah.
And they were puppies together.
Yeah.
And they know how the other one plays. But new dogs, she's a bit like, oh.
I'm not sure about you.
Yeah, she just won't play.
Yeah.
So I think they almost, I guess, get into that headspace of, oh, that's the one I play with.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're here now, so I wouldn't do that.
So they have different friends for different purposes, don't they?
Yeah.
Riley very much sees Roby as playmate. He's like, I'm going to flip her around. Yeah, so you're together. But then, like, my parents all laugh at Paul's. When you tell they're older, he's saying, like, what are they, pack families? Like, I'll cuddle up to them more. Like, I know to respect them. And it is really interesting that seeing how dogs figure out the hierarchy or where they fall in pack, or who's their friends to claim with, who's their friends to, like, just chill with.
And just understanding the other dog's needs and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you find that dogs ever find it hard to understand other dogs' needs?
I think it depends on the dog. I've got a few dogs that are just a bit oblivious, shall we say, to another dog. And they will be like, oh my God, as soon as they see them. But then other dogs I've got, like, respect of other dogs and let them come to them. So I think it really depends on how, like, age as well, if that makes sense. The younger they are, the more, oh my God, they can be.
Yeah.
That's how I find it anyway. When I'm walking younger dogs, they're just a bit more oblivious.
Super intense.
Still learning, if that makes sense.
And not knowing, like, social cues almost.
Yeah.
I think they haven't learned.
I think a big factor that also plays into it is how long they were with their mum, if that makes sense. Because mum obviously corrects and things like that. So, for example, Bandit and Moxie were both taken very young from their mum as soon as they were sort of weaned. And you can see it in their body language sometimes with other dogs. They don't fully understand what another dog is saying all the time. And a lot of it, I think, does extend the fact that their mother hasn't corrected them on certain things or taught them.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What would you think is the ideal age for puppies to actually be rehomed?
A lot of people say 8 weeks, but I think it should be a bit longer. 12 at least. Because they're learning everything from, from the minute they can hear and see up until gone to, so that development is really important and key when they're young, to learn to understand when a dog growls, it means leave me alone,
Yeah.
and not to continuously get back in its face.
And often people don't let those scenarios play out, so it can be really hard for them to learn when they're happy.
Exactly.
Maybe I should let Roby growl at some dogs.
Obviously do it safely.
We'll be like, you can bring your dog into the shop and Roby's going to growl at you.
I like that. She just said, it's my shop. Don't eat anywhere. Don't sit in the trees. I'm one chummy.
No, so Callum's mum's dogs were really good with Moxie when she was a bit like, oh my God, boisterous and bouncy. Bandy was still a bit like, I'm not too sure about you yet. So I took her up there because I knew they'd be absolutely fine with her jumping on them, but also correcting her.
Yeah.
So I did sort of just let them crack on a little bit because I knew it wouldn't go too far. It'd just be a sort of, hey, leave me alone, because they're older dogs. they understand what's going on more.
Yeah, it doesn't always necessarily, like a growl or a snap doesn't always have to end in like a full fight.
No,
It's just them.
it's reading the rest of the body language, like all the components. It's not just the growl, it's the ears, it's the eyes, you know? You got to read the whole body language as a whole rather than just one component,
Yeah.
because that's where you will get it wrong if you just read one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I guess, knowing the other dogs is very handy.
That too, yeah. Some dogs might growl when they're playing.
Yeah.
Some, it is aggression. Just depends on the dog.
Sorry, after you.
No, you go for it.
Right. Do you ever think that aggressive dogs can be made more aggressive by their owners reading the signs badly and they're trying to call the dog away too soon? So, like, if a dog going in, your dog's growling at them, your dog can be like a bit submissive, bit coming away, but as soon as you reacts and pulls them away, do you think they're all suddenly going, oh, it should react and being pulled away, and then they can go into a full-on fight? You think?
What I find with Bandit, he's like a sponge. If I'm feeling nervous, anything I'm feeling, he instantly feels it, do you know what I mean? And his behaviour reflects on it.
Yeah.
So I find if you've got tension in the lead, your dog can feel it. So as soon as you pull them away, you're all frantic and stuff like that, your dog's going to react off that. You know, so I do find some behaviour in owners can cause a different outcome in the dog.
It can be a bit much.
Yeah. Because you're overwhelming them and things like that.
I mean, I've seen people with, I won't use air quotes, but nervous dogs who are on lead. And Roby's pretty good because she just walks straight past. But they can get like frantic, wrapping the lead around their hand, then like yanking their dog, pushing it into a bush, getting behind it.
I was gonna say, I'm guilty of that with Bandit a little bit because I try to get out of people's way to give him the space he needs.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So just to do a wide berth around you sort of thing and just have a little bit more space, especially if we're down the railway when people let their dogs off and just run.
Yeah.
Or I will put myself in between dogs and him sometimes if they're just running up to us. But that is because he's quite unpredictable at the moment because of what he's been through, which is why we're getting him a muzzle, and then I won't be doing it so often, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because people will see that.
They'll see that and hopefully just have a bit of common sense.
Yeah. I think it's good. I mean, people need to know their own dogs. So for me, I know that Roby will ignore.
Yeah.
But if somebody is stood there making a scene,
Yeah.
acting
No,
tense,
see, I'll put my two
then
on
she
somewhere and do a wide berth and
keep walking. Yeah, it's the stopping. And then Roby's like, why have you stopped? And like, it's a tight path. Like, what are you doing? The pushing into the bush and standing over your dog, I just think is odd.
Yeah.
Or like yanking upwards so that they're basically choking. And then I'm like, if you did that when you imagine someone doing that to you when you're feeling nervous, like say you didn't like flying or something,
You feel so worse.
yeah, you'd feel awful. So I think it's a really tough subject because I think you're right. People are trying to stop a bad thing happening, and when your dog's unpredictable, it's quite hard to.
Yeah.
You don't want anything bad to happen, and
No,
that's come
exactly.
back on you. But also, it's knowing how to make your dog feel comfortable in those situations because otherwise it will just get progressively worse.
Yeah. Definitely.
And Roby, like, she doesn't like being in here. So it's really tough to know what to do. But we found that giving her treats as a distraction
Yeah.
is the best thing to do.
What's the word for that? It's positive.
I guess it's like
It's
Redirection or something?
yeah.
redirecting and making something seem fun when it's been scary, like before. Like fireworks, for example. Like you turn the sound up very gradually, you give them a lick mat, play some games, gradually increase the noise, desensitizing.
Yeah.
You know, making it a good thing.
Yeah, like when another dog comes up, giving a treat. So knowing, oh, when a dog comes, I get a treat just for them walking past or being
Exactly.
near me. And I don't have to do anything. I'm not expected.
Yeah.
And there is over-socialization that will lead to those problems.
Yeah.
Which I think is what we did with Ropes in here.
It's you want to know what you're doing,
There's like a final line to walk along, if you understand.
And there's so many dogs, aren't there? I mean, there's so many pet shops that have dogs that are in full time. They'll literally just lay down on the floor.
But I've never been into a pet shop where the dog in the pet shop has been nice.
Have you not?
No.
I think I get in for about 2 or 3.
Even the one in Paris, the dog wasn't nice.
It was nice, but like it was like it's my shop.
Yeah.
But like it goes, little dog came in, didn't it? And this dog Johnny sat barks at the dog, and this poor little dog goes, Oh shit!
and just runs off, and
Run away.
they were all off lead.
Oh, yeah.
So the dog just ran off out on the street.
Oh, my God.
And the dog that they had in there wasn't like your average breed. It was a Nakita or something.
I think he is American fighter.
Was it? It was big.
Yeah.
Is an Akita of some sort, yes.
Something a little bit intimidating.
Yeah. Like we got a Labrador because I knew if we're doing dog shows and stuff that people think they're friendly on the most part. So it's like, I'm not going to scare you off. Alistair wanted a German Shepherd, and I was like, no, because you'll never get anyone else's Shepherd.
People do cross the road from Moxie.
Exactly. It's awful, isn't it?
German Shepherd, so...
Yeah. They just instantly think, they look at the dog and go, oh no, I don't want to deal with that.
I'll tell you what, I'd be more scared of the small dogs.
Oh, me too.
Without a doubt.
Dash Huns scare me more.
That's what they are, divas. They really have attitude.
They're so noisy and quite unpredictable. I feel like I'd be more likely to get bitten by one than
With Jack Russell or something.
Yeah. I was actually attacked by Jack Russells when I was younger, by 5 of them.
Oh my God.
It's just you running for the hills, a little pack behind you.
No, they like pushed me into their bed. My dad was mowing the lawn
Yeah.
at a friend's, and his friend was also mowing the lawn, so he couldn't hear anything. And I was like 7 maybe. And I was in the house, and they all just like pushed me into their bed and were on top of me barking. And
Oh my God.
That is quite scary, actually, isn't it?
yeah, it's like pack.
Yeah. It is, I have to say, those sort of situations are quite scary. They really are.
I mean, you had one recently, didn't you?
I've had 2 recently.
Have you?
You don't really?
Yeah, I got, this is protecting Bandit, pushing him away, and the other dog latched onto me. And that was actually from an ex-client's dog.
Yeah.
So,
They have some decent sized scars.
Do you want to share the story of the clients?
so the client's one was resource guarding.
Okay.
And he had stolen something out of my pocket that was a gift of another client, so I had to get it back. It wasn't something dog friendly, you know. So I was like, I thought I'd done my pockets up fully, and he'd managed to get his nose in, if that makes sense, and the zip had just been pushed down, and I hadn't realised while we were cuddling. He took it, and I was like, oh my God. Trying to get it back off him. And I was doing a day in the life, actually, so I actually managed to catch the sound of it on record. All 6 minutes.
Nice.
I haven't been able to listen to the full thing. No one sort of makes it past 10 seconds. It was quite bad.
Really?
So is it, he was resource guarding, I'm presuming.
Yeah.
It's trying to get it off them, isn't it? Is it that?
Yeah, he eventually did drop it.
Yeah.
I sort of grabbed his collar and tried to kick the item away from the situation, just to sort of like calm it down. Yeah. And that's when he must have just seen men at that point and just managed to latch on while I had his collar. And I, in the end, just kind of threw him towards his crate and pushed him in.
Yeah.
Latched the door, and then only then I went outside and had a cry.
That's fair.
Just so shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, it was more scary than when this one happened, because someone was actually with me with this one. Yeah. This one I was on my own with my back against the wall, no exit sort of thing.
Is it a big dog?
It was a very big dog, yeah. Golden Retriever. You wouldn't believe the sort of breed.
Well, that's why, like, it's not right to think that only some breeds will do some sort of behaviours, because it can be any. And that can be, it depends on the dog, depends on training, depends on, you know, what their life is like.
Yeah, definitely.
So scary.
Were you told about the resource guarding?
I was told, but I didn't realise the extent of the resource guarding. I was told if it's something unnecessary, just leave it. If you need it back, you know, get it back.
So there was no at any point the owners didn't say he will be aggressive about it, or
No, they had children in the house as well.
But maybe he'd never gone to that extent.
I think that is the case, because when I did tell them, they were very shocked. Didn't really want to believe it was their dog, you know?
Yeah.
So it was quite a shock to everyone involved, sort of thing.
Do you find that people with kids often have problems like that with their dogs?
I do find they have a lot of problems, but I think a lot of it is the kids just sort of
Yeah,
grabbing at the dog, if that makes sense.
I think so. It's not putting those like boundaries in place. I think children get so excited at the fact they have a pet. Like I would definitely have been that child. Like I want that pet with me all the time. I want it cuddling me. I want to dress it up. I want to take it on walks.
I'll say I'd be guilty of that.
Yeah,
as a kid.
like I'd be so overbearing.
But I wish my parents put those boundaries in place to learn that it was not okay, and
Well, I had a cat, and luckily she could just leave and go outside.
Our cat didn't get an opportunity to do that. She's like,
she used to hide under the Christmas tree in like at Christmas time and stuff in the back corner so we couldn't get her.
Really?
I felt awful now that you look back on it. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, poor baby.
And I think that's probably what happens with dogs.
I think a lot.
And
of
then
time,
resource guarding would make so much sense if you
Yeah.
think about, the children might be around him at food time, taking away treats, or I've seen a lot of kids that were like tease
Yeah,
a lot,
definitely. I've seen that before.
and then something bad will happen.
Yeah.
It's no fault of the dog.
Getting in the dog's face to give it a kiss, and the dog's showing clear signs it wants to be left alone, like whale eyes, a little bit of a lip twitch sort of thing. Leave the dog alone, give it its space.
Yeah.
I guess it's the whole like quantity thing, isn't it? I guess a lot of it depends if the dog is there for all the kids, or if the kids came before the dog. It's like whether they grow up knowing, again, it's a child that's going to pull my face, that's going to do this, that's going to do that. Which, I guess, is a 50-50, isn't it? Sometimes that create more problems, or sometimes the dog will just go, that's normal, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
I guess it's also on the parents to recognise as well the body language in their own dog, to think, I've got to protect my child in this situation. And also, dogs are family. You don't want them
Feeling anxious.
Yeah, or getting put into an environment where they're going to react. And it's so it's a failure. Yeah, and I suppose with the golden retriever, it's also when you look into the breeding, isn't it? I mean, they're meant to retrieve. And I wonder if there's some sort of resource guarding thing in it for everyone. It's, I'm doing my job, I have to retrieve, but no one's taught me the let go there, the let go, come on, I've done my job. How do I switch off from that now? Rather than going, this is mine, you can't have it. Like,
No.
where that all falls together.
There is a lot to learn. I think people sometimes are lazy, don't want to put the time in, get the wrong breed, wrong time.
Just think it looks nice.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do definitely notice that with kids. Actually, Steve Mann has written a really good book, and it's specifically for kids to learn how to handle dogs. And I always say to people, like families, I'm like, make sure you get a crate and tell your kids not to go near it.
Yeah.
Because that dog needs to have its space, and they need to sleep.
Yeah.
Because if they don't get their sleep, they're moody.
Yeah, because a lot of people just go, puppy, oh my God. It's
Yeah.
like, it needs at least 18 to 20 something hours of sleep a day.
Yeah, so much. Even when they're adults, it's like the same.
It's crazy.
Depending on the breed. But yeah, I wonder. Children.
Should we just ban children at this point? No more children.
I don't mind them coming in, actually. I like it when they leave.
It's quite cute when the card says you goes monitor you to kids. Like when you show them their freshly groomed dog, they either go, wow, look how fluffy they are. They look so cute. Or you get some brutal children like, why is it so short?
What's happened?
What have you done?
And then you can be like, got a great chore for you.
Yeah.
You can brush your dog.
So they're going, this is how you use it.
Yeah. Put them to work. Always.
Again, it's educating, isn't it?
And to be fair, I was cutting our collie cross, wherever he was. Joe, I can't even remember what he was. It's just gone. I used to cut his fur in the garden sort of thing because he has long hair, so just trim the back of his legs, underneath his stomach, tail, get all his mats out, all those sort of things. I used to do it all when I was about 12.
I mean, that's good. It's just a nice bonding experience, isn't it? Yes, there's all get to know what your dog was like, what they feel like.
And it's also good for, like, say, when you go to a vet, just, being able to touch them everywhere and things like that, and just training them that it's okay to be touched here, in the ears, around the jaw. My two, you could just stick your hand in their mouth and go, whoop, like that, and they're not phased.
Well, also because you haven't done anything bad. Like, I think rough play sometimes can cause, like, issues with, around the face and stuff.
Yeah, just cause them
Pulling the ears and, like, the big, like,
Yeah.
not sure. Yeah. Like, unless you really trust them after a while, but don't start that instantly.
No. I mean, I have to say I did wind Moxie up on purpose for the first time the other day because she's so big. I know she just fought me. I did the whole, like that sort of like, the lunge sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was like, I was like, oh no, I've done something wrong.
She's like, what are you doing?
She just went mental. And I bouncing off the sofas. One of the sofas nearly went over backwards, and I thought, oh, that's never happening again.
Oh my God.
I've learned my mistake.
But some people will pin their dogs down and stuff.
Oh yeah,
And then I'm like, no.
you gotta let them be able to retreat and stuff like that
Yeah.
Yeah.
on their grounds of it, you know.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Why do you think some people do pin their dogs down?
Controls.
Like a control thing? Do you
Yeah.
dominate their dog? Or do you think in their heads they're going, oh, we're play fighting, so I'm going to play fight like you and my sibling?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both, really.
Yeah.
It's probably like different people do it for different reasons, but I've seen like, you know, our friend with the dog Hugo,
Oh, yeah.
like he gets quite anxious about being picked up now
Yeah.
because he has been often like picked up and not let go, or like people aren't kind of listening or looking at his body language, and him being so anxious. So now if you go to pick him up,
He's just all smuffy.
he'll growl.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he really doesn't want to get into that situation where he can't get away.
Yeah.
And I think that just speaks volumes to him having all those bad experiences. And now it's really difficult to be nice to him. Because all you want to do is give him a cuddle, but to him it's not a cuddle. It's like
It's just
bad things happen when you do that. And that's just learning, isn't it?
a lot of people don't listen to when their dogs say no and just sort of take the free will out of the dog, if that makes sense. So you need to listen when your dog is saying no.
Yeah. You know, I feel like that's only really become highlighted a lot more recently, like over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when I had dogs as a kid, I mean, my parents might say different. I feel like it was very much so like, you have a family, it's your dog.
Yeah.
It's your dog. Like, to the kids, like, dogs aren't their sibling, but it's a dog. It fits in with your life. You don't fit your life around it. Well, there's anything wrong with that. Like, I'm the last person to say I love dogs. Any dog. Right? But I feel like there's been such a shift in
Yeah.
the actual ownership of the dog. Like, dogs.
How we treat them.
Yeah, like, everyone in Cotswolds dog friendly because everyone takes their dog everywhere.
I think it's a lot to do with people that have empty space in their lives. So they're either looking for that dog. I guess they're always getting a dog to fill a hole or do something for them. Like for me, Roby's great because I'm anxious.
Yeah.
So she fills that and we can go for walks and stuff, which is great. So that's what she's for. And I always wanted her to be cuddly. So I did overbear her a lot. And she is really cuddly and she's fine. And Alistair tells me if it's too much. But also like replacing a child. And I think a lot of people our age now don't want to have kids or want to have kids later. So they get a dog and it fills that gap and they can practice.
Exactly. A lot of people nowadays have shifted from we need to have a child to I'm not ready yet, you know, and that's okay. So, I mean, my two I got for anxiety as well, along with the cat. I mean, she's brilliant. She comes up to you, she's just like, it's okay, and rubbing her paw on your face, sort of thing.
So cute.
But
Cats are actually, if you stroke a cat, it's meant to like reduce your anxiety levels by ridiculous amounts.
it is crazy. It's the purring as well, like
Yeah.
vibrations and stuff. Like they say all that, don't they?
Yeah, better than dogs. But then you get to go out with dogs, which I think is really good.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think it's just mainly there's different breeds which have become more popular as well, which I think are more high maintenance.
Yeah.
Poodle breeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unisex perfection. Right. Pure poodle. Beautiful.
Some of the miniature poodles that come in are so cute.
But they're adorable, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're nice. They've got their characteristics. Like, they're meant to look a certain way because of their breeding, what they're used for. But some of these poodle crosses are crazy.
Yeah.
Sweet. They are nuts.
They are.
They really are.
They are so much work. Like, not only mentally, but physically on the co-condition you have to keep after them. They need a lot of stimulation, mentally and physically. They're sold as these cute little cuddly teddy bears. Like, look how fluffy it is.
But wait till they get her first haircut. It's not cute anymore.
Get my dad.
What is this?
I remember the first time Hattie had a haircut. She was just fluffy little thing up until the haircut. I'd never seen her have a haircut before. I came in, I was like, what have you done to the dog? I was like, but she texted you and I was like, half your dog's missing. I was gobsmacked at how small she actually was.
You suddenly see the real them.
You do. We don't notice it, so you just do it, like, and then it's not till you take your earphones or back to you and they go, oh my god, and her. Yeah, they do look quite different, don't they?
Yeah.
This is your dog now.
Completely different dog.
Yeah.
But they're also notoriously highly strung poodles and super clever.
Yeah.
And they attach themselves to one person, which I actually think if you look at a lot of the people that get them, that's what they love about that dog, is they're so attached to them.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a bit like you not being able to go anywhere without one of them like following you around. I think that's probably what the poodle crosses do, is they just follow you everywhere. They jump up at you and it's cute.
Usually quite
They look cute. One, Jordan hasn't groomed them. Made them look like a terrier. Oh god.
Fresh dogs, it's not my fault, yeah. Fresh and coney dogs, alright? Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the difference. And then also just the rise of ridiculous pet stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
Like fashion harnesses and like
pearl necklaces.
clothes.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yes, they look beautiful. They really do, but
It's just insane.
it is insane.
It really is. Like, I think I'm a bit over the top dog it. Like, I'd happily put Riley in a jumper just because I think it looks cute. Not necessarily, and those shows you read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just cute. Hannah's very much so like, he's got a coat. It's black as his hair. She thinks I'm going else on him. But even
That's why I never sold coats in here.
yeah.
And I probably offended so many people. It'd be like, my dog needs a raincoat. I'm like, no, it doesn't. My dog is outproof. Doesn't need a raincoat. I'm like, you just need a towel.
The reason I use one for Mopsy is because she's so fluffy and I can't, she doesn't sit still to towel dryers. I'm just like, all right, the coat's going on, just make it easier on me. That's that. You're right, man. Aren't you? That's cool. She's in the traffic light. She's got bright yellow little thing.
Everyone can see her.
I can't lose her.
Does it have a hood?
That's good. No, this one doesn't.
Oh my god, the Jules ones with the hoods. I'm like, it doesn't need a hood. Come on.
No, they just sort of blind the dog.
Yeah, blind the dog, or they don't go over its head because it's next to you.
Or the ears are poking up and pushing it back.
It's just an accessory, like an add-on to the coat.
Yeah.
No.
No, I was given one for Bandit one week and I took the hood straight off it. I've not got I just sort of left it on him, so I was like, there's a pocket, you can carry your own poo bag.
I do quite like the turtlenecks they do for dogs. It's a Vampire style.
Well, there's some dogs that need it, like the little Iggies and stuff. They're so thin and they have no hair. Yeah. They need, and they just sit there and shake.
Yeah, I mean, but it's telling you it needs it. We've bred it because it needs it, and they're from hot countries, and they come to
that. If you want like a little baby dog, that's a baby dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stay small. You always have to carry them around in slings.
Basically, Joe, yeah. Hungry. Mum house.
The ideal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's why. Just this, I mean, going to the dog shows. Have you been to any dog shows?
I haven't actually, no.
Oh my god, it's just insane. Like the things that people think up with the dogs.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
But there is such a market for it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there is. Like, it's totally crazy. It's totally mad, but people are buying it. And, you know, I think of the other influencers on Instagram with their dog pages and stuff, you know, put it in this little cute bow tie and stuff. My neighbour's dog, he used to always have a little rainbow bow tie.
Oh, sorry. It's kitty.
Yeah. I just wonder what the dog would say if it could talk.
Breathing the colour, that doesn't see me. Be interesting to see.
I know. And literally just like chase rabbits. Like, what are we doing here? Why are you taking me to queue for a puppuccino? Yeah, and then force feeding it to me.
Just for a photo. That'd be the Netflix, it'd be the rise of, you know, like famous dogs or something. Or the
Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, the Instagram, I remember when it first started, people were like, have you seen that some dogs have Instagram?
and now it's
As now every dog has Instagram. Even Riley has Instagram.
To be fair, I made Bandit one when I first got it, but I haven't used it yet. It's really fun when you first get there. You're under Bosmus every day, and then you just don't just forget.
It's so much work.
It's a full-time job, and yeah, he's doing it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, fair play.
It's very hard work. Yeah, but it is so funny.
It's when and I can answer if I like it or not. It's when owners do captions as if it's dog writing it.
Oh.
I can't tell you when they reply to comments in there.
It's disgusting.
It does make, or they go, me and Amelia, and you're like, you are the fam, you are the owner. It's like, does it ever low key like make you have a conversation with them as if like they're their dog problem? You should try it. So I
think they'd be shocked.
yeah. Can you actually believe?
I know. It was dog school this weekend, actually. I'm sad I missed that one. That one's really good. I recommend.
Is it
In Dorset.
Dorset?
The New Forest.
Oh, that would be pretty.
It's a really nice setting. And it's tiny.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
I think it was Lauren's sister.
Yeah.
I heard about that one. I'm gonna see if we can get Jordan work and come over.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, it's over the weekend, isn't it? It's Saturday and Sunday.
It'll be really good.
Bathurst?
Bathurst Estate. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be good fun. So when do you finish your training?
Oh, so they said we can do it in however long we want. I'm working for it gradually because I'm trying to make sure I take it all in properly, get the practicals correct and things like that. So maybe I'm on body language.
Yeah.
Here, so that's like module 3, just working bit by bit, attending study sessions as often as I can when I'm not working.
Yeah.
And just taking it gradually. But yeah, I think there's about 8 modules, maybe a few more than that. But each bit breaks down into as much as you could think of. It's so,
Really?
so in depth. And then I've got a couple of pieces on. I'm redoing my first aid through them. They got one on enrichment, myths, dog law. So I'm doing all that as well alongside it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was all part of the course, and I was just like gobsmacked. Who's on the training college?
Where's that?
It's all done online actually. So we
You did
just
it?
submit practical videos and things like that for our study group on Facebook. And students can comment on it, the lecturers can comment on it, so you get a variety of feedback off of different people. So it is nice to have that little community.
Yeah, it's really cool. What's your favourite thing that you've learned?
I have to say, I think it was the thing that dogs actually focus on what you're looking at the most. So say I'm looking over there and there's a board underneath there, and the dog sort of picks up on where you're looking, they will look quicker than, say, a chimp will.
Really?
But apparently so. And I thought that was kind of amazing.
That's very cool.
A dog picks up on it better than a chimp. They used eye tracking technology to do it. And they picked up that the dog is quicker.
That's
I just thought that's just outstanding. It was crazy.
Do you ever advice it with your dogs?
I do sometimes, but Moxie never has a brain cell. Bandit picks up on it. Moxie just says, "Hey, you go."
Look at me. Look at
I'm just looking at you. My tongue's out. So yeah, it's a lot of time like obviously using like putting treating around and looking at it and then looking back at the dog, not saying anything. That's what I do. And Bandit would eventually just stare at my hand, whereas Moxie just sort of stares at me, and I'm like, "Hand, Mox, the hand." So it does. I think it takes a bit of practice, but they do eventually get it.
cool.
That's cool. Do you ever practice on clients' dogs?
A lot of my clients' dogs are so. They're great, don't get me wrong. They're so oblivious, they're just like, let's go for the ball, let's go for the ball. I don't know.
18 and another relationship with you, don't you?
Yeah,
Cara's here, we're going out for a walk.
Yeah.
Something fun.
it really is. Like, obviously, when I first got our little dog, he was quite nervous. And now when I walk in, he's like, oh, his back leg's going like that, his front leg's going, let's go. And it's like sweet to see the development of the nerves sort of disappear with me and just building that little bond. Got a new one starting. He starts on the 10th of May, my first little welfare check on our own. We've done a couple of meet and greets and just slowly feeding you sausages.
Sorry.
Good. Just feeding sausages out of my hand, and he's gradually getting closer to the point he let down behind me the other day, and I thought, that's it. We can do a meet. Like, we can do it without you being here, sort of thing, and see how it goes. You know, as soon as he shows that little bit of trust.
So is that how you build a relationship then with the dogs that you're going to walk? You kind of meet a few times.
It varies on the dogs. Some dogs are fine from the first meet and greet, and they're like, yeah, I'll happily go with you. And then other dogs do need a little bit more patience, I'd say. Yeah.
And then most people that want you to walk their dogs, is that because they're going to work or they aren't able to walk their dog?
It sort of varies. A few people have said, like, I walked Hattie when my client had broke her hip and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
And she wasn't able to work or go, like, walk the dog. So I did that 7 days a week for a little while.
Gosh.
It was all right. That was over winter, so that was the tough part about it. But then other clients, like I've got a couple of ad hocs where they're going out for the day. They just want someone to pop in about lunchtime and just let the dog out and take it for a walk and play. So it does vary on a lot. I mean, one client comes to me in winter because she struggles on ice. You know, she's a bit older, sort of thing. So I take her dog in the winter just to help her up because she's a bit more fragile. Hope she doesn't hear that. she's a tough cookie, but
She knows why she's hiring.
yeah. But yeah, it varies all the time, I'd say.
Do you do the house sitting as well? House sitting, overnight stays? Or...
I don't do overnight because of Bandit and Mox, but I do during the day sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I do want one with Squirrel quite regularly. Hammer Cumber, she's so funny. She's such a girl. She's such a character. But yeah, we'll sort of sit there and just have a cuddle on the sofa sort of thing for a couple of hours, and I do that quite a few times a week, like on weekends, Saturday. I mean, I had her the other week while they went and watched Stitch in the cinema. I was like, have fun. Don't spoil it.
Is there a new one out?
Yeah, there's a new Stitch out.
Oh, really?
The live action.
I don't know what that means, live action.
Do you know these Aussie comics and like Lion King?
Yeah.
It's all like live action. And no offense, Disney, usually terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done the same with Stitch now.
So it's real people.
It's basically the Lilo and Stitch movie, but
with AI and real people.
AI and
Whatever it is, yeah.
CGI.
That's it.
CGI, that's one. Yeah.
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 No. I actually haven't really watched any Disney.
Oh, I love your plans.
No.
Yeah, so
I've never watched Lion King.
You've never seen Lion King?
I was
That would make you cry. I don't want to watch that.
she was Bambi there.
No.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you like horror films.
No.
What about gory films if it's not horror?
I like, who's that guy who does like, the like 3 hour, 4 hour long ones? Really famous guy.
I'm not good with it.
They're always really gory. Yeah, that's the guy. I like his stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hope was good.
Yeah.
So you like a bit of action?
Yeah.
If it's going to make you cry, or if it has zombies, or...
Definitely no zombies, yeah. No zombies, no.
What do you watch?
Not much. Real Housewives. I love Real Housewives.
Oh, I'm a horror person. I have to say, yeah. God, whether it be TV show, movie, or gaming, I'm all for it.
Oh god. No, I could never play COD zombies bit.
Really?
Yeah, I'd freak out.
Yeah, grew up with that.
Nope.
It's Sam. I started playing Days Gone, which is basically a zombie apocalypse thing.
And as you do, I had a really bad neck. And this is so stupid. I'm like going on this corridor, like, this is fine. Just do, like, I have next to jump. And then someone just comes out screaming. Oh, God, I like literally couldn't breathe because, Anne, please pause it, please pause it. Die. And I can only play it something next to me.
Zombies are terrifying.
Yeah, I'm not into it.
No.
I can maybe watch there's the funny version where they like hide in the pub.
Oh, it's one of the
Yeah.
And last
I love that film. I do love that film.
Yeah, but no.
So you've never seen any of The Walking Dead or anything like that?
No.
They are good, the zombies out there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. It's just never gonna happen.
That's
I get nightmares.
It's not fun.
So, with your training,
Yeah.
what kind of dog trainer are you going to be? I'm hoping
Main method.
I'm hoping to, or it's got to be positive reinforcement, definitely. But I'm hoping to go into specialising with reactive dogs after.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and maybe service dogs after that. I kind of branching out a few places that I want to go into.
So you go more niche, so you go more
Yeah.
reactive, now, I guess it's all going to the back history.
Yeah,
Why they're reactive.
why they're reactive, how to work on those phobias and things like that. And just a rehabilitation course in a way, if that makes sense.
Fantastic. Can you explain a little bit more about what positive reinforcement is in dog training?
It's rewarding with something good, so, treats, even a toy that they love. or if they prefer good dog, you know, things like that. Just something that is positive from the outcome that they've done. So say they've stopped barking, positive reinforcement, you know, so they learn that once they stop doing something or they do something, something good comes of it, if that makes sense.
And ignoring the bad stuff.
Exactly. That, yeah, I've seen, you know, prong collars and stuff like that, and I've seen them being used. I just don't agree with any of that adverse equipment.
It's hard, I guess, for you because there's so many different trainers and so many different styles, and that people can be quite aggressive about their style.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. Like if someone is using a prong collar or something, they're very much it's fine, I'm using it correctly, but it's like, how would you feel with that around your throat and then having a harsh tug to you? Do you know what I mean? Put it around a balloon and try and do it. You're going to see it pop the balloon, you know?
We've had dogs in grooming that have been wearing prong collars, and they usually have scabs around the lip.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's whenever you say to the owners, and they're like, they're fine. Like, it was always like, oh, they're fine. It's never like, oh, gosh, really?
Yeah, they know about it. It's just,
Yeah, or bald spots where it pulls the coat and everything. You just don't look very comfortable
no.
at all.
To be honest, I refuse to walk a dog with a prong collar.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I will not do it.
It's so extreme. It's a bit like the electric.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So they went out wall down.
The electric ones have, the vibration ones are still legal.
Yeah.
But even the vibration ones can cause
Burns.
burns.
And they can blow up.
And I've heard dogs scream from having them on before, do you know, because the setting's been too high on it.
Oh.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's not so nice at all. You just got to think like,
How are you going to get something good from something bad? Like, it just never happens.
it's just going to make you scared.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the same with us. If we were given something bad, like negative reinforcements for something we've done over time, we'd be like, well, you know,
Yeah.
know the good.
I just don't want to do anything anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people just need to think of it. Would you want it, if that makes sense? If someone comes up to you continuously like that, or choking you, sort of thing, like you just shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a form of abuse, I guess.
A lot of people do that. They just sort of put their dog in a situation which is called flooding, and the dog does just emotionally shut down. So say a reactive dog that's scared of dogs, trapped in a field with other dogs, that dog's going to mentally shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know? So I think it's not a great technique, personally.
No.
But people have got their own opinions, aren't they?
And maybe you can judge the trainers on that, because usually they're a bit...
I've noticed a lot of them tend to be more working breed dog trainers, if that makes sense.
old style.
Yeah, and then people just go to them and don't realise that their dog's also not a working dog, if that makes sense. It could be a working breed, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a working dog.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And people are just like, oh, but it's a working breed, it's fine. It's like, but your dog's a home dog, it's not out doing what it's,
Yeah.
you know?
You don't necessarily need it to be able to do all those different
Yeah,
things that they're going to try and need to do. Yeah, it's definitely like training to suit your lifestyle as well,
Yeah.
and what you need from that animal.
What do you think on gun dog training? Like,
I think it's alright. Like I said, it gives the dog a release and stuff like that, and some dogs are still used for gun dog and like gun dog work and stuff.
yeah.
But I think a lot of the techniques they still use can be quite old-fashioned. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I know a gun dog trainer that recommended a prong collar a while ago. He's really local, I think. And I just, what trainer would recommend that in this day and age? Do you know what I mean?
It's important, I guess, to think you almost want people that get a dog to start as early as possible with training, because then you don't get to a point 3 years down the
To
line
use this equipment. Yeah.
where you need to use like something harsher. But ultimately, you're still doing that to break the dog, right?
Yeah. I'd say so.
That's
Just
what you would say.
yeah, I would say so. Because like I said, you're just trying to get that dog shut down in a way. Just agree and agree and agree. Instead
Yeah.
of listening to what the dog is actually doing, you know? They say loosely it's one of the hardest things to teach because it's changing the way the dog naturally moves. So a lot of people don't take that into consideration. They just sort of yank and go, the dog's not walking with me. Well, it's not natural for it to walk beside you like that, you know? Or I've heard someone say to me, my dog's walking ahead of me, so it's in charge apparently, you know? No, your dog's just ahead of you because it's normal for the dog to be walking at that pace.
Yeah. Well, I'm training Ruby to walk off lead. She's doing pretty well, but she will walk ahead.
Yeah.
And I don't see an issue with that. One, because I know she's not going to go up to anyone.
Yeah.
She knows where the pavement is, so she doesn't leave the pavement. And 3, she's not going to like go up to any dogs.
Yeah.
And if I call her, she comes back.
Yeah.
But Alistair sees an issue with it because he's like, she should be behind. And I'm like, well, she wants to go up there and sniff, and then I might overtake her, and then she might overtake me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want. So it really depends.
Isn't it? It's like when you walk with friends. It's like, I guess when you're big group, you don't go, oh, they're ahead, so they're the dominant one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't so like, you know, they've just got really long necks, they're faster than all of us.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
it's just what they're supposed to pace.
Yeah, exactly. It's speed.
What's this? Yeah.
Do you think some of the problem is as well that, like, people that are our age now, you are a bit younger, but, like, around our age, all it is that, like, we grew up in, like, Cesar Milan was really big. So you're, like, watching these dog training shows. You got Cesar Milan's like, I'm going to get them to bite me. I'm going to rile them up. I'm going to show them that I'm really dominant in, like, Cara, make this dog really scared of me. So when they go into the range it now, and they see dog trainers like that, they're going, oh, that must be the right way because Cesar Milan was really big.
This is an actual ongoing argument with my partner because he grew up on that. And he is very much, pack dominance theory still. And I'm like, it's been disproven, you know, I'm gonna strangle you in a minute sort of thing. Stop. Let me do now.
Let's do pack dominance between us now.
Yeah, literally. He's so, you need to show the dog you're in charge. And I'm like, no, that is not. So you're just going to cause like stress between the bond and you're going to cause fear. You know, the dog's not going to know how to take you all the time, you know? Whether 1 minute you're all right, 1 minute you're just like, you know?
Yeah.
And
Build it
yeah,
first.
it's, you got to build the trust to be able to get anywhere with the dog. Build the bond. So like with him at the moment, I said to him, try to build the dog's focus outside. And at the moment I just say, look at me. And the dogs look. And he's like, but you shouldn't have to say it. And I'm like, yeah, but you've got to teach them to look at you first. He's like, no, Billy, shut. It's not natural behaviour just to turn around and check in all the time. You've got to teach them, you know? And yeah, he believed, like, when Bandit was little, he did snap at me once for food. This is why we feed them separately. And he was very much like, you need to show him who's boss. I was like, no, that's going to make it 100 times worse, you know? Yeah. You need to build that bond, put food in his bowl while he's eating, you know, tell him the good things come from me instead of the bad things.
I'm intrigued by the method of removing the bowl when a dog's eating.
I don't understand that.
I don't think it's the way forward.
No.
whole hand feeding thing.
No, it's
If the dog growls, take the bowl away sort of thing.
yeah, or not even if they growl, just bringing that in so that the dog knows, I guess, that you're in control of the food. But I don't think that's, I think, you know, if my dog's sat, I've given her food, we've gone through the whole, like, good girl or giraffe or whatever we say to make her dog go, good girl means she can eat.
Yeah.
Then that's hers.
Yeah.
And me taking it away halfway through her eating would surely cause her to become aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than not become aggressive.
Well, I mean, you've seen people when they get, like, them just like, I'm for a meal, and their friend will ask the waitress just take the food away halfway through. They get so angry. Yeah. They're like, Eric, where have you my food? Of course the dog's trying to be like,
Or it would be like,
that's, yes, it's feeling frustration, isn't it? You're like,
Or someone's just taking a chip.
yeah. How dare you?
What are you doing? That's mine.
If you want a chip, buy your own.
Exactly. So I feel like that's like a big training there for losing,
The respect and trust.
well, but losing aggression during feeding.
Yeah.
And I just think that's weird.
there's different ways to go around it, isn't there? So, like, with Riley, his command is go on then. So he goes certain ways and dribble and drool for as long as I feed him to. But if I say go on then, he'll have his food. If I say wait when he's eating, he knows to come away and stop. And sometimes it takes a minute because obviously he's gotten into it. But
He can do that.
fair play.
Yeah.
So that's why. Much I'm telling me, he does this.
But I think Brody might go, do you say something to me? Then just go back.
My view is just like, go away. But it's all because we're always scared about India and Arlo, like if they're around Riley with food. So we're always like, if we just get him used to it and we can give him a command that says, someone's coming near you, that's fine.
Yeah.
So like,
And their kids just for full.
yeah, so if he must treat and we're like, you have to wait, 9 times out of 10, if 8 times out of 10, he will stop chewing, drop it, and then he will come over and take it. It's the same with his food. And instead of taking his bowl away,
we thought it was much nicer for him to see where his bowl is.
Yeah.
And we just have that.
We are asking rather than
Yeah.
instead of just cherry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. I've always heard that you're supposed to do that, and I'm like, I'm not sure.
See, with Bandit, we just started adding bits of food to the bowl, and now you can run your hand along his back while he's eating, and he's just looks up at you with this little, I'm eating, hi, just then goes back to eat, and
Getting closer,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah. So being in his bubble, like,
yes. I mean, don't get me wrong, if he had, say, a deer's leg or something, and he'd taken it off to go and hide it and eat it, then I will leave him be, because that's his way of saying, do not come near me.
yeah.
I'm enjoying this. This is my high value. I've earned this sort of thing. And I was just like, yeah, you can have that, mate. And
Yeah. But that's you recognise in his body, isn't it? You're reading his body language and going, wondering he's not inviting me. Like, it's respecting that.
yeah.
When I had a dog come in actually with a customer, and they were letting it pick things, and it grabbed a pork shoulder, and it had the plastic on it. It had like plastic wrap on it, and then it was trying to eat it, and I was like, shit, like, this is not good. And the guy could not get it off him. So he's like trying to yank it. The dog's like growling at him. I'm like, okay. So I grab a treat,
Yeah.
just like a meat treat, and offer it to the dog, and the dog drops it and eats the treat, and then we can remove it. But I'm like, how have you got your dog to that stage? Like, they should always be able to drop something if you ask them to, because what if they've picked up some random stuff on the street
Exactly.
that's dangerous? You need to be able to,
Intervene.
Yeah.
and just tell them to drop stuff.
See, I only find it's with this sort of stuff that it can be a bit funny. But if it was, say, rubbish off the street, I can put my hand in his mouth and he's not bothered.
Yeah, because it's super high value.
Yeah.
Did you suppose what? He's coming into a shop and he knows that he can look at everything, got all the treats. And then he's probably thinking, well, if another dog comes along, I've got to guard this. So this is mine. I know I get one of these. But if it's out on the street, he's probably trying his lap. It's tasty. I like, shit, no, I can't. Sorry, Mum.
Might also be the fact that it smells a dog in here, obviously. And you smell all the different scents and you're like, right, when is one coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dog weight in here.
I'm not surprised to be honest.
A dog weed on my new stool the other week. Yeah.
Did you gonna say anything?
No.
Oh, shocking.
You know, I'm just like, oh, it's new. And now it's dog weed. That means it's going to be peed on loads. Like, can we just keep the new stuff weeless?
Hide it on the table.
Yeah. So annoying, honestly. Oh, well, it's just part of the job.
Yeah, and that is annoying though. It is really bad, isn't it? When you can hear that a dog's peeing and the customer's just totally oblivious, like, how do I not hear a dog going out? It's not happening. It's, yeah, say.
I know.
Just say. We don't.
I don't know. And what else must they pee on that their owners don't know about? Like, do they go around their own house peeing on things?
Makes you wonder, wouldn't it?
I bet they do.
How's a piss somewhere?
He is right. Like, I honestly bet they do.
Yeah.
Or when it goes up people's houses.
He happens a lot, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it happens in our house a lot.
Does it?
Yeah. With boy dogs coming in, yeah. We have to close all the doors now.
I have to watch Bandit if he goes somewhere, because obviously he's a hero male, so if there's a female that's been there, he's like,
Ooh. I'm like, no. It's horrible, yeah. Anything.
Do you
Not
find
dead.
see dogs that would play more dominantly? Like, so got like dominant submissive dogs. Or more dominant, more submissive.
Just-
the way they play.
Just boys with balls.
Yeah, boys with balls.
Yeah. Although, some girls will pee on this rug.
I see some girls do it, like
Yeah.
Homer and Scoop, because feeding mum and dad's dog, I mean, she's rescued, but she's unneutered. And Riley's very submissive and his play like, he'll dogs can him, like,
Yeah.
that's massive, but dogs can pin him down. But with Phoebe, if Riley goes out and he'll just do a week's and eats it, Phoebe will then have to go out and pee 4 times around the perimeter, like incessantly.
Really?
She has to sniff everywhere. She has to pee like every 20 minutes. I had a client once say that to me, that their female dog was marking her territory, and I was a bit like,
Really? We'll do that.
I was a bit shocked at that, to be honest, when they came on. I was like, I've never heard anything like that, to be honest.
That's so weird.
It makes you wonder if there's something. I know dogs have habit if they wee somewhere continuously, it's a habit to go then like automatically, and it's hard to break those habits.
Broby wees a lot on walks. Like a lot of silly wees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does she, when she pees,
Does she feed with both her legs out? Do you ever notice her like do a squat and
Both down, but Isla, the Jack Chihuahua, that wolf, she pees one leg up, and she will pee over Roby's wee.
Yeah. But it doesn't
Same place,
isn't it? If like
but she's very dominant.
yeah. Yeah, it's always small dogs, isn't it?
Jack Russell. Yeah. I don't know. But boy dogs, I think they just do it anyway, and it's like the same with cats, like boy cats. Yeah, I don't know if it really would matter.
No.
Whether they feel entitled to it or not.
See, right, when we first got him, he was so scared to pee outside in the garden that when I was working at a first salon, I had to wait for him to wee, hop out the towel, and then go our usual route and mark it.
Really?
Yeah, you pee, but apparently with puppies. Like, I had no idea. I'd actually look like an idiot going around.
I think Cara's like, I've never heard of this in my life.
No, believe it or not, Bandit isn't anxious. Right. So if I'm in the garden with him, he will not go to the toilet. I have to leave the garden for him to go to the toilet. So on a walk, he will hold it the whole way until we get home.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't be looking at it.
I can't be anywhere near him.
That's so weird because Riley wants you to look at him when he will say you out. Speed but eye contact. So he's like, okay, it's safe.
I know another dog that also won't go to the toilet in front of people. She's a Labrador, so she'll let you can let her out, but if you go out with her, she'll just sort of stand there going like that. But as soon as you go back in, that's when she'll do the little circle of like, I'm gonna squat now.
Really?
Yeah, she will not go when you're outside with her.
What do you think made Bandit like that?
I honestly don't know. I really don't. He's always been like that, to be honest. Since he was a puppy, he was just like, I'm not going to the toilet, you're stood there. So when he was a puppy, he used to try and like, if we were in the house and I hadn't caught him going to go squat, he'd sneak off to another room or behind the sofa. He'd sneak off where you couldn't see him and go. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think he was ever told off before he
I do wonder that, but he lived in a stable, so yeah, it makes you wonder. Exactly. So it just makes you wonder.
But because some dogs will eat their own
Yeah. I think that was a terrible friend.
to hide it. Really? And they always have icky bellies as well.
Do you know what? Mox is actually alright, but I've heard that.
Yeah.
I think it might be the collie side of her that makes it okay.
Okay, yeah. Got a good one.
Got a good one.
A good mix. Yeah. And I think sometimes, like, when people are training their dogs to go to the loo, they'll often tell their dogs off.
Yeah.
If they've gone in the wrong place. That happens a lot. Or, like, the rubbing the nose in. Like, that's a big thing.
It just causes your dog to do it when you're not looking, if that makes
Well,
sense.
yeah, exactly.
And just do it out of fear in another room, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't stop the problem.
Yeah.
It just creates a new one
Yeah.
of, not doing it in front of you or not doing it in the right place. But yeah. Crazy that people do that.
It is. It's a very old school thing.
Yeah.
It really is.
But I feel like that's probably, if we spoke to anyone else, they'd be like, yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think when my dad moved up,
My mum would have.
so he did. Well, on Robbie and I tonight. I mean, our dog, she thought, fuck you, I'm going to go pee inside your bedroom every day.
Really?
Yeah, she did. When he'd come out, he'd stand there and go,
Lily!
here's revenge. Dog's like, oh no, calm.
Yeah, and clocked it.
I know your routine. You're going to step out that door first, so...
That's so funny. Crazy. We definitely undervalue their brains.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they are always 2 steps ahead. They learn our routine more than we do. And people don't even notice it. Like, you know, if you say like, if I grab my keys, my dog gets so anxious that I'm going to leave. And it's because they know your pattern. They know when you put your shoes on and you go to a certain place for your keys, they know you're leaving. Oh yeah, they're anxious anyway. They're going, oh God, my world's ending. Yeah, this is happening. That was actually one of the case studies I was looking at. It was routine, and they were saying how they always used to take their dog after they finished working from home. So every time the laptop shut, dog was like, yeah, we're coming. Because they knew as soon as that laptop shut, they were going. Yeah, and they just learn it. It's the same with food and stuff. They roughly never know will being fed, don't they, if you change it slightly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I hate that.
I had a problem from having my two like,
And always never female at the same time.
I try.
I hate the thought of like 4 to 5, a dog pestering me.
Yeah.
Like, we used to look after Harry, who's a Labrador, a chocolate lab that lives down the road. And at 4 o'clock, he would just come and stare at you. And then 15 minutes later, he'd start making noises like, then he would go downstairs and start barking.
Oh my.
Harry.
Yeah. And he just wanted to be fed. And I'm like, this is so annoying.
Yeah.
Like, what if I'm busy doing something or on a call or like,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Moxie does it in the evening if she thinks she's going for walks. So Sarah can going out for a late night or something, or got to pop out somewhere and it's dark. It's only when it's dark. If my shoes go on, my coat goes on, and my keys go in my pocket, she's now like, we're coming for a walk. Oh my God. You know, and she starts wiggling her bum. She starts whining. She's just staring at me with these big eyes. And I'm like, you're not coming.
Oh, no. It makes it even worse.
I know, but she's accidentally learnt that connection. And I'm like, oh, how do we get it on? I'm connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will just learn that it's not every time.
Yeah.
But the food thing, I think,
It's hard. It's so routine. I mean, with Riley for ages, we'd be like, right, 6:30, we get up, we go downstairs, Riley gets fed straight away.
in the morning.
In the morning, yeah. And it became really
I have to drag my two out of bed.
Oh no, he's a morning dog. He's a sun's out, come on, get up. Let's go. So we had enough. We're like, this has got to change because it's too much. And on weekends, I just really like to sleep until 7. I'm really nice.
They don't get the weekend concept.
No. So we started mixing out now. So now we go down. Riley goes out, but he will get fed between 6:30 and 7:30. It's totally up to us. He can sit there and whine.
But hang on, between that tiny half an hour window.
That little bit. But we're like breaking up the routine, and he is less annoying in the mornings, man. He didn't hit the door off. He didn't cry downstairs. He knows that he will get fed at some point, not as soon as we come down.
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah, it's been really nice.
You're lucky he was allowed upstairs because my aunt and uncles, they don't let their dogs upstairs, so they will bark downstairs. And I think also when they get older, it gets worse.
Well, yeah, because they just get so like in their head, don't they?
Yeah.
And it's
Very demanding. Yeah. And excited and like, I don't know, probably a bit of dementia. Yeah. Yes. Then he can't leave my routine.
so like something's happening now, but I don't know what it is. But anyway,
Should happen. Yeah. Crazy. I think I watched a video or was reading, but dogs basically get super anxious when you leave. The worst part is when your scent leaves. So what I was just thinking was, do like candles and scented things in the house really disrupt that? And are dogs that have those kind of things in the home more anxious than dogs that aren't, because they can't actually track your scent anymore once you've left?
they're pretty cool. Was it found out last time that dogs' noses are 100,000 times more powerful than us?
Yeah.
So I suppose we can smell that scented candle, or even like scented laundry detergent.
Yeah.
It's got something about cool in their nose. Yeah. So they won't. I mean, some people probably don't have much of a naturals anyway, because if they change their perfume, with
Yeah.
we really disrupt them.
Exactly, yeah. I was just thinking, like, if they're constantly spraying, like, Febreze on things to freshen things up, like, would that then disrupt the dog being able to smell your natural scent on bedding or the sofa? And then they become more anxious. So it's not you actually physically leaving. It's just the loss of scent in the house that actually makes them more anxious.
It would make sense. It would.
I'd love to do a study.
You should.
Don't know how.
You know, I'll try to do it on.
Like that, yeah. Moxie, obviously, with her hormones all over the place, she's getting anxious when I leave again. So what I've been doing is leaving her with something of mine,
Yeah.
and she seems to be a bit better with a treat as well.
Really?
And she seems to be a bit better, but as soon as it starts being too long that I got, that's when she starts tying up again. So I think it is to do with the scent of me, you know, not
Yeah.
being there and
Actually,
started wearing up where she's rubbing on it and rolling in it, you know, things like that. Because there was a study showing that dogs actually value your scent over food and anything else.
Really?
They'll pick out your scent every time, and it makes more lights.
Yeah. More endorphins. Yeah. Stuff go off.
Yeah, it makes more endorphins sort of light up in the brain than anything else.
I say as well that puppies, don't they? So when you go get a puppy from a breeder or
someone who's had litter, 9 times out of 10, they'll either give you a blanket of theirs to take away, or you give them an item of your clothing, so they can learn your scent. So I guess it makes your transition easier. They already know a scent they know is there. So if being chucked to a deep end and going, you don't recognise anything.
Yeah, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, basically.
Why am I now going in with you? Crazy.
Yeah, literally.
I enjoyed that. Thanks for coming.
No worries.
Good luck with the training.
Thank you.
We'll get you back on when you're finished and because it enlightens us more.
Sounds good.
I'll let you know how it goes.
It says injury secrets.
Oh, definitely.
Sweet.